2026 is the new 2016. That phrase is everywhere right now. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, everyone's saying it. And if you're confused about what that even means, let me explain why this nostalgic trend is taking over the internet and why it actually tells us something important about where culture is heading. The trend started a few weeks ago when someone on TikTok posted a video comparing 2026 to 2016. The caption said, "Same chaotic energy, same political uncertainty, same feeling that anything could happen." And it went mega viral, millions of views, thousands of people stitching and duetting with their own comparisons. And now it's a full-blown cultural moment. So what's the comparison actually about? Let's break it down. In 2016, we had a shocking presidential election that no one saw coming. Brexit happened, completely upending European politics. We lost iconic celebrities like David Bowie, Prince, and Muhammad Ali. Pokémon Go took over the world. Stranger Things premiered. Hamilton was the biggest thing on Broadway. Vine was still alive. And the internet was a different place, chaotic, unpredictable, but somehow more fun. Now fast forward to 2026. We're in another intense political year with a presidential election coming up. International tensions are high. Pop culture feels like it's recycling nostalgia instead of creating anything genuinely new. And there's this weird collective feeling that we're living through a turning point, just like 2016 was. But here's where it gets interesting. People aren't just comparing events, they're comparing the vibe, and that's what's resonating. In 2016, social media still felt somewhat innocent. TikTok didn't exist yet. Instagram was mostly photos, not reels. Twitter was chaotic, but not actively destroying democracy. YouTube was where you watched funny videos, not 3-hour video essays about the collapse of civilization. There was optimism. Yeah, the world had problems, but people genuinely believed technology would solve them. Self-driving cars were right around the corner. Virtual reality was about to change everything. We were going to colonize Mars. The future felt exciting. Now? Not so much. We've spent the past decade watching social media tear society apart. We've lived through a pandemic. We've seen democracy tested in ways we never imagined. Climate change went from future threat to present reality. AI went from sci-fi fantasy to job-stealing nightmare. The optimism is gone. And people are nostalgic for 2016 because it was the last time things felt genuinely hopeful. But there's another layer to this trend, and it's about aesthetics. 2016 had a specific look and feel that's coming back. Remember the rose gold iPhone? Minimalist Scandinavian design, pastel everything, chokers and high-waisted jeans? That aesthetic is resurging. Fashion trends are cycling back. Music is sampling 2016 sounds. It's like culture hit the rewind button. And honestly, this makes sense. Nostalgia cycles run in 20 to 30-year loops. In the 90s, we were obsessed with the 70s. In the 2000s, we romanticized the 80s. In the 2010s, 90s nostalgia dominated. Now we're entering the era where the 2010s, specifically the mid-2010s, become the good old days. Gen Z, who were kids in 2016, are now adults feeling nostalgic for their childhood. Millennials, who were young adults in 2016, are hitting their 30s and 40s and missing when life felt less heavy. Even older Gen X and Boomers are looking back at 2016 as the calm before the storm of 2017 onward. But here's the thing, people are missing. 2016 wasn't actually that great. We just remember it that way because what came after was so much worse. 2016 was the year we elected leaders who would dominate and polarize politics for the next decade. It was the year social media algorithms really started optimizing for outrage and division. It was the year we lost our collective ability to agree on basic facts. 2016 wasn't the peak. It was the beginning of the slide. But from here, looking back, it feels like the peak because we didn't know what was coming. It's the same reason people romanticize high school. High school usually sucks while you're in it. But years later, you remember the good parts and forget the bad. So what does it mean that everyone's saying 2026 is the new 2016? It means we're at another inflection point. It means we sense big changes coming but don't know if they'll be good or bad. It means we're anxious about the future and seeking comfort in the past. And it means culture is stuck in a loop, recycling ideas instead of inventing new ones. Let's talk about the political parallels, because that's what's driving a lot of this. 2016 was a crazy election year. Brexit shocked the world. Trump's victory shocked the world. Political norms got shattered. In 2026, we're heading into another major election with similarly high stakes. The incumbents are unpopular. The opposition is fractured. International alliances are strained. It feels like 2016 all over again. But there's a key difference. In 2016, people were shocked because they weren't paying attention. Political polling was trusted. Media narratives were believed. Social media hadn't fully weaponized misinformation yet. In 2026, nobody's shocked anymore. We expect chaos. We expect institutions to fail. We expect the unthinkable to happen. That's arguably worse. Now let's talk about the entertainment parallels. 2016 gave us Stranger Things, a show that became a cultural phenomenon by being nostalgic for the 80s. Now in 2026, we're getting shows nostalgic for the 2010s. The cycle continues. Music in 2016 was dominated by Drake, Beyoncé, and Adele. In 2026, those same artists are still at the top of the charts, just older. We haven't moved on. And tech? In 2016, we were hyped about the future. Virtual reality was going to change everything. AI was just starting to get good. Smartphones were peak innovation. In 2026, VR failed to go mainstream. AI became terrifying instead of exciting. Smartphones are basically the same as they were 8 years ago. The innovation plateau is real. So why is this trend blowing up now specifically? Because we're entering another uncertain year, and humans crave patterns. We want to believe history repeats itself because that makes it predictable. If 2026 is like 2016, we can prepare. We know what's coming. Except we don't. Because while there are similarities, there are also massive differences. In 2016, social media was growing. In 2026, it's declining. Young people are leaving Instagram and Facebook. Twitter is a shell of what it was. TikTok might get banned. The platforms that define the 2010s are dying, and nothing has replaced them yet. In 2016, the economy was recovering from the Great Recession. Jobs were coming back. Housing was affordable in many places. In 2026, we're dealing with persistent inflation, a housing crisis, and widespread economic anxiety. The financial realities are completely different. And culturally, 2016 still had some innocence. We didn't fully understand how bad things could get. In 2026, we know. We've lived through a pandemic. We've watched democracies backslide. We've seen climate disasters become routine. We can't go back to that innocence even if we want to. So here's my take. 2026 isn't the new 2016. It's something else entirely. Yes, there are surface-level similarities, but underneath, we're in a fundamentally different world. And maybe that's okay. Maybe instead of trying to recreate 2016, we should focus on building something new. The nostalgia is understandable. When the present sucks and the future feels scary, the past looks pretty good. But we can't live in the past. We have to move forward. And the first step is admitting that 2016 wasn't as great as we remember, and 2026 doesn't have to be a repeat. What do you think? Is 2026 really like 2016, or are people just coping with anxiety? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're feeling nostalgic, hit that subscribe button so we can navigate whatever's coming next together. See you in the next one.